Hey everyone, it is week 12, and for this week's discussion, we were asked to think about an underperforming counselor or a counselor who's just resistant to whatever program that our campus is using, and what that might look like, and what we might do to address that. Um, so, as far as how the underperformance would hurt the program, I think that, a good program for it to be really effective and be as great as it can be, everyone needs to be on the same page. So, it's really detrimental to have one person who's just either not performing because they don't want to, or they don't understand it, or they don't agree with something. Um, so, when talking about like being proactive, if you're not following along with a program, then you're probably missing out on a lot of activities that could help you be proactive instead of reactive. And, just kind of running around and putting out fires, so to speak, whenever, an emergency or critical situation occurs that could have possibly been prevented um, if the program was being implemented the way it was supposed to be. Um, so then also, students losing out on instruction, on important materials and services that they might otherwise be getting. Um, Conflict with staff, if you feel like somebody's not pulling their weight or doing their part, then that can cause a very tense work environment as well. um, and then depending on what their part is, if they're just servicing, if they're running the program and servicing a specific group of students, maybe that group of students is missing out. Or if they're providing certain lessons, then there would be gaps in what the students are getting from the program. And really, it would just kind of, it could possibly make the whole thing kind of fall apart and not be effective. And then all the stakeholders involved wouldn't see the purpose because the program had been um, not implemented in the correct way. So you wouldn't have the outcomes that you could have had otherwise. Um, so then what makes a competent counselor? I think a competent counselor is somebody who really understands the 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 what and the why of what they're doing. They're following the ASCA model, the Texas model. Somebody who's constantly learning and wanting to be better, um, and um, somebody who's open to feedback also, constructive criticism. Somebody who wants to hear other people's ideas and really work collaboratively as a team with everyone involved. um, so how would I address it if I were like a lead counselor? um, I would I'm so non-confrontational. Um, so I don't know that I would ever be a lead counselor, but in the world that I was, definitely don't ignore it because things just, will get worse. You can't sweep things under the rug or hope it gets better by itself without addressing it. Um, I think that you have a conversation with that person and try to figure out what's going on, because you never know, what the cause might be for certain behaviors um or their underperformance, I guess. So trying to understand what's going on, are they burnt out? Do they feel stretched too thin? Or are they really just genuinely were they unsure of what they were supposed to be doing and what their role within the program was? Um, because depending on what's going on with them or why the issues are what they are, that would determine how you would move forward. Um, so once you figure out whatever's going on, then you can do like a performance plan. If they're just not understanding something, they could go to a professional development, things like that. Um, so then resources and supports. Um, so as far as resources, I think sometimes people just need mentorship, especially obviously new counselors. So definitely some some mentorship. Um, and then, like I mentioned before, maybe they need some professional development and um, go over, maybe it's been a long time since they were in school and they're just kind of stuck in their ways of doing things and they need to be reminded, this is the model, this is the ASCA model, this is the Texas model. Let's go through the standards and see, are we doing this or are we, meeting these goals as a counselor, what's required of us. Um, and then you could have like a written uh, plan of what, like a growth plan of what you're expecting from them and what things need to look like by the end of whatever it is you decide that they need, whether it's professional development or, you know, um, something like that. So, yeah, those are my thoughts for this week. I hope y'all are having a great week, and I will see you later. Bye.